Where did the idea for the men's group scene come from? I suppose I'd like the piece to answer for itself. Now, what associations come to mind when you hear the term men's group? You know, honestly, the picture I get in my head, it could go two ways. It could be the Proud Boys, or it could be a place where men can get together and just, actually talk about the problems they got and, express emotions that they otherwise wouldn't get to, or choose not to, or they're afraid to. Still not sure. When I hear it, I think it's a outlet. It's a way to get that frustration, the anger that builds up out in a healthy way. Because it's there. Dude, there's totally so many amazing people out there that you could bump into every day at the coffee shop and never fully understand the depth. And something like this, it's awesome because you're meeting these strangers on a level where you've cut through all the bullshit and you're just totally engaged with them. It's awesome. I think there is still a little ambiguity in these spaces, and you don't always even feel safe, even when people are trying to make you feel safe. And that's, I guess, part of the work, and that's why it is so important. And a lot of times it can feel like a stumbling block or why did I come here, but it's part of it, I think. I think you nailed it. I mean, these spaces can be uncomfortable, and there's an element where when you think you're open, you think you have wisdom, a lot of times that can be quite the opposite, and you have to stop talking and start listening. And there isn't a point of I made it and I cannot backslide. And I mean, where can people go? I mean, even in places where you don't have these situations, as imperfect as they are, I mean, where do we go to talk about things? And what happens when you don't have those spaces? And how do you get people to be comfortable to even come into these spaces? I mean, gosh, I wasn't going to come in here, and it took a long time. I mean, this has been wonderful. It's cathartic. I think there's this pressure that builds up and builds up in our lives, and it's these little things, and they're stacked on top of one another, and without some sort of valve to release it, you don't notice how much it's hurting you. And especially in this culture where we're not really supposed to talk, this has been absolutely marvelous, just to let these things go and hear them come out your mouth. There's a real question whether or not these groups should have a leader or some sort of captain, someone to take charge, bring the group to realizations, or should it be more of a democratic process? And there's a chaotic nature to that, and it's all right, and it doesn't have to be law and order all the time, as long as there's sharing. I mean, that's why we're all here, I believe. Expression. I honestly waited about 60-something years before I could cry, and it took a fucking diagnosis to get me there. And I don't know, I need to laugh, and I need people I can just say shit to, and that's it. There's nothing fancier than that. I need this. It's all.